And 1, 2, 3. Okay. What's up, guys? So, this is Rudman coming at you live from Breathville. We just ran for an hour and a half, chilled out for another hour and a half, reviewed the tape, the catch and everything. The playback came out fine, and got into the rhythm of things. A lot of water, and we're feeling really good. I'm right at the point where the battery's about to run out on my personal bandwidth, and I still have a delivery shift ahead of me. But I thought I would do what I really had a notion to, and get into another Breathcast with y'all. So I'm going to do one thing first, which is introduce you to my workout gear, because I just don't have the heart to put it away right now. I don't have the bandwidth for it. Those are my weights. They're not big, but they're mine, and I'm getting better with them. This is what I use. This is what I use on top of the stool that I'm on. I put the thing between this and the bed and scooch the stool closer here, and then I do little, they're not pull-ups, but they're a version of them that are easier that I can do in here. And then those planks you see back there, I just learned about assisted squats. So you slant those. I get a nice angle going on my bed, and I slant those, and there's like a little rug there that I use to pad the floor, and I do some squats. I just learned that today, and I used them, and I was not fantastic, but I didn't fall over. So that's where we're at. This whole podcast is about getting better at things, and we just spent the last hour, minute 45, and then that hour and a half earlier today on episode 29, doing that. A quick thank you. That was so good. That podcast was it just felt so right to talk about anxiety for once. Oh, I'm going to leave that aside. We're going to do 30 big breaths, belly and chest. Just letting the air out. And then on the 30th, we'll breathe really nice and big, maybe compress the air chamber a little bit. And then we're going to let the air out and relax. Maybe for a minute, maybe a minute and a half, maybe 2. I'll keep track down here, and I'll let you know how long, I guess, it took me. I don't know, maybe. We'll see. We'll see how we feel. But we'll count off, we'll do it, and once it's the end of the down with the air out part, we'll breathe in, we'll breathe big, and hold that for 15 seconds. Maybe compress the air chamber again. That's one cycle. We'll do 3 cycles. I just got out of the cold shower, so I did a cycle in there. I'm not going to do 4 today. We're just going to do 3. So without further ado, 3 minutes in. God, Wim Hof is so concise about this. Anyway, get comfy. Preferably laying down. We'll see. We'll see if I don't fall over or something. And settle in. And in a few seconds, we'll begin breathing. Ready? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. See? That's how it's done. That was 1 minute and 30 seconds. Let's aim for maybe 150 or a little bit more this time. I really breathed out that time. Sometimes I let it carry me a little far down the windpipe. Anyway. Round 2. Begin. Something like 10. 11. 12. Etc. Something like 20-ish. 22. 23. Big. 28-ish. Okay, so I got a little bit of fireworks on both of the air compression parts. A reminder that is completely optional. I would not recommend that it is something that you do if you experience lightheadedness that easily. If you are asthmatic, be careful around doing this practice. Um, Always be gentle and let the body tell you when it's ready. For example, we didn't really go that much further this time. I think maybe we might have done 1 minute 45 seconds, maybe. Um, but we didn't do that much. Um, so it doesn't matter. We're here together. That's the important thing, right? We're going to go for one more, okay? So now we're a little loose. These things tend to compound, so you might start feeling some sparks and things. That's totally cool. Totally cool. If you feel a little tense and you're having a difficult time hanging in there, one thing that you can do during the holds or during the relief breath, the really big one after you've been holding out, is tapping. You can tap a few times here, 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 and here. You can do it in that order if you want to. Maybe I'll do that this next time. But without further ado, we really do want to ride the escalation factor of this breath practice. We don't want to get too comfortable with the oxygen levels right now. So, round number 3. Begin. I'll do the Tai Chi version. Ten-ish. And So, feeling very gentle and loving after that. Gentle but firm, resilient. I didn't collapse. Body didn't collapse. Hey, we broached 2 minutes. I think we might have done 2:10 or 2:15 or something. Did we make? No, we didn't make 2:30. I don't think. So yeah, that was the Wim Hof breath practice technique. I wanted to illustrate this to you because this particular time, because the podcast is about riding along, and you and I ride together. And as long as we're riding, we need to be honest about where we're at in our journey. So, I honestly thought I was going to do a little better. Because laying in bed first thing in the morning, doing this, takes usually about 25 to 35 minutes. And I recently have told you guys that I'm very proud of myself, having broached 3 minutes a couple of times per cycle, or per practice. It's most mornings. So the fact that we got to 2, okay, I'm seated. That takes energy. I talk a little bit through it. I'm thinking about it. I'm watching the timer and such. I'm also taking care not to dive quite as deeply, and diving a little bit deeper does slow my heart rate more, and the beats become very strong. It didn't happen quite as much this time. But I wanted to illustrate this to you because this is all a work in progress. We're not at 7-minute holds. We're not taking ice baths yet. I took a cold shower. That was great. But my thing says 82 in here, so it's 82 degrees in here currently. So outside it's a bit more, but it's cooling off. So all that simply to say that I wanted to be completely honest, and I wanted you to see. If you see it in real time, then it's more real, and that means that we can be more real. That means the things that we say can be more real, and the places that we go can be more real, and we can bring more integrity into them together. So my triumphs are going to be more transparent to you, and the steps I take are going to be more realistic because I'm more realistic a person, because you've seen me. You saw me when I got the light show, and I was just like, okay, here we go, it's happening. On round 2, and then on round 3, it was more so. We went a little bit deeper, and I did a little bit better. I did a little bit better at not just illustrating that. There was definitely a light show going on in my head for 5 or 10 seconds, not as long as I'm used to, but also, the faltering and everything. You got to see the flaws. I was a little bit vulnerable. It's not easy for me to be on camera. I'm not a huge fan of looking at myself in a mirror or on camera, unless I'm working out, and even then, it's like some angles it's like, oh yeah, that looks pretty cool. Other angles it's like, oh, all right, bud. I guess I have a lot of judgment to release about my body image and stuff, don't I? And we're all somewhere with that. We're all somewhere with that journey, and I get to share that journey with you, and I get to lead these sessions, and feel free to play these back if you want to. You can always just come out of these faster and just tack on a few more breaths, of the next cycle. Let's say you don't make it to a minute on cycle 1 like we did, or a minute 30 like we did on round 1. You have the option to take your recovery breath as soon as you're ready. If it's 25 seconds, if it's 30 seconds, if it's 10 seconds, if it's a minute, however far you make it is great. Are you kidding me? It's fantastic. Rather than beat yourself up about it, and just meet yourself halfway like I do. And and you can get somewhere, But you can, after the recovery breath that you take, while I'm finishing up my cycle, you can just tack on breaths on the next cycle. And what that's going to do is compound the hypoxia. It's going to compound the O2 saturation, which is going to then increase whatever effects happen. Like Wim Hof says, 30 to 40 breaths are a good amount of breaths to take. And, you can also breathe slower than I did if you want to, or faster. There's different ways of doing it. Wim talks about chasing a feeling. And the feeling is you're riding the razor's edge. You're almost out of control, but you've got a handle on it. It is okay. It takes some proficiency to remain here, and I might make mistakes. I make mistakes. But we're still here, and okay, the body just told me no. I'm coming up for air right now. I don't even have to think about it. No need for judgment. Because next time we'll come at it, we might last 5 more seconds. Or have a breakthrough. I've had some breakthroughs. Got some bees outside. So that was the purpose of this podcast. Oh, he really wants in. Yeah, it is a little cooler in here. Sorry, bud. I know. Sucks to be you, huh? Oh, he's caught in a web, poor thing. Anyway, God. Yeah, just relaxed, feeling good. Oh, and that's the other aspect that I didn't want to forget. It was really important to me. Running tired me. You know, I had a lot of bandwidth at the start of the day. I ran, and I brought y'all along with me, and it took some bandwidth. It also increased my threshold for bandwidth, and my body became it did all the things that bodies do. It got ready so that the next run's going to be a little easier, or that maybe. And all sorts of things happened. But today's energy has now been tapped, and so I then cooled off, and I sweated so much. And then I didn't think I was going to do a workout, but I got the yes. Actually, it's not here. It's like, I got that yes. And so I followed it through the workout. It was very brief, but it was really intense. It was like a flash flood. I really enjoyed the juxtaposed long run, short workout, 1-2 punch. And it's been recent that I've done that. I've been mostly very lazy for longer workouts. And so we're changing it up, and we're following the yes, right? So I followed the yes through that, and I knew I had the energy, but perhaps not by much. And then I thought, okay, well, I got a little bit more in the tank. Shave and shower. Why not? Shaving allowed me to cool off again from the second thing, and then the shower was cold, and it was actually great because it's so freaking hot out right now. And then I was done with that, and then I decided the first thing I'm going to do is, while we're heating back up, I don't even have my shoes on for the rest of the day yet. I decided to pull my stool from the pull-up position, and because I had the energy for it, and now the battery's kind of flashing. The battery sign is flashing. I want that merch. Jocko Willink, send me some merch. Become aware of me somehow and send me merch, because I want a hat that has that battery with the X on it. Because that's where I'm at right now. But I wanted to be there, and I wanted to bring you here, and then I wanted to push just a little bit more. I wanted to push a little bit more in a way that was safe. After all, I didn't do breath practice this morning, and I wasn't feeling bad about it. But I thought, if I can bring my people along with me for one more episode today, when I'm already tapped, feeling great, all the happy chemicals, but tapped. Very tapped. Just the faucet's been pouring and they're about to shut off my water, sort of tapped. That kind of tapped. I thought, man, I still got more in the tank, and I'm going to work a dinner rush on Uber Eats here in a second. It's 6 right now. So people are going to want some food, and I'm going to go deliver it to them. And that's going to challenge me, but I'm meeting it head first. And I thought, God, if I can bring it just a little bit further and then bring my people along with me, that will show them that sometimes you can surprise yourself with what you're capable of. It seems like such a small deal to somebody who's already an Olympic athlete, but that's not us. We're not just anything. We are out here. The screen is, I'm looking at myself, but the actual light is right there, so I guess that's what you're seeing. So, you and me and you. So, that's what I came to say. And it can't actually be said. If there's a lesson in the running, and if there's a lesson in the ride-alongs, and if there's a lesson on the podcast, and if there's anything that can be learned here, then it is a lesson in the life of a warrior. And maybe I'm not a warrior yet. I like to think of myself as a warrior in training, but that really doesn't answer the question, does it? Well, are you or are you not? If it's a binary, I've got to be one or the other, don't I? Right now I feel like one. But the warrior's way is action. So I can't teach, or I can't really bring people along unless I'm actually doing a thing. So I thought, man, today I've got it. Today I've got it. And I'm not keeping it to myself. So you get to share in this. I hope maybe you'll share with somebody some equivalent that you have to this. I know you've got one. Don't. I'm watching you. You have one. You do something. You cook good meals. You read to people with your voice and bring the kids in. You're like, oh yeah, we're gonna read some stories for recess, or you do something. You go out of your way. You have a nice conversation. Running and riding along are not just running and riding along. Remember the Miyamoto Musashi quote that I'm gonna butcher again, as I've done at least twice on the podcast already. The value of sword fighting the full value of sword fighting cannot be seen within the confines of the act of sword fighting itself. The preparation, the training, the discipline, the willingness to put everything on the line, those skills. Do or die, Yeah. We may not be sword fighting, but the warrior's way cannot be taught. It cannot be spoken. It can only be lived. So I thought, I think I've got the juice to live it and bring people here so that y'all can live it as well with me. Doesn't matter if you didn't breathe with me. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you lasted 10 seconds. Not to me. I don't see any difference. There's no another of my mentors. I'm so happy to have collected an abundance of mentors at this point in my life, both from afar and up close. One of them said there's no big wins and small wins. The universe doesn't get big and small, vast and minuscule. It only understands you put out a signal and it gives you what that signal says I want reciprocity in. So I told the universe I wanted to be provided with the energy needed to do this podcast. So looks like I had it. Isn't that nice? Anyway, I've rambled on far too long. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. This has been Breathcast number 2 with Lungboy, with Lungbutter Fish Boy out of water, flapping around for all's entertainment. And the next time we do this, who knows? We might make it to 230. Might be in a month, might be in 6 months that we do this again. I don't know. Could be tomorrow. I really don't care. There's no wrong answers with the podcast. So, with that in mind, have a great day. I love you. And just be. Okay. I'm out. Like Tom Hanks in the movie about the guy, Mr. Rogers. Oh my god. Whew. There was a moment in the movie when he was just like meditating with somebody, and he went like, and in the scene he was looking this way, and then he was suddenly like, and it was just totally dead silent, and then he was just totally like, no, it was just like, actually he had a piercing, knowing, loving gaze rather than like a gaze. So it was more like, maybe. I can't tell what I look like when I look at the light. I'm new to this, okay? Forgive. Or don't. Breathcast, Breath Boy. Podcast right along with Run Man. I'm your host, Run Man, and I'll talk to you next time out here on the dusty prairie trail. Creek. Bring your pails and shovels next time. Homework. Just be.